Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 17th. It is 6:18 right now. Market's gonna open in about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link sent out. All right, looks like we are good to go. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Looks like we might be at the all-time high. Yeah, it looks like it. Going up to 30-minute, 15-minute. $10-minute. You're not really getting much up top. And back to the 1-minute. It's got like one level up there. All right, looks like we are good to go. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 17th, 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. Start a little earlier today so I can mark up everything. So I marked up liquidity here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 42,207. Closest level of liquidity below is at 42,157. So there goes the closest two levels of liquidity right there. Going over here to our SR chart, mark up some structure here. So the structure is going to be pretty scattered because of the big moves this morning. We had news this morning, retail sales. Obviously, you guys can see from these big candles here. Well, these not big candles, but these big spikes. All from the news this morning. All right, so here goes the SR zones. There's not really much to work with here. As you guys can see, price is kind of just bouncing between these two zones, and these zones are pretty big based off the news from this morning. So we got the SR zones marked up right here. We have the liquidity marked up right here. This lower level almost got triggered, not quite, but almost. We got price kind of just bouncing back and forth right here. We'll have to see where this where the breakout's going to be this morning. Here's a clean chart. We have some structure here. I'll just mark up some pre-market structure, and then I'll make adjustments later. So this is kind of where price is ranging right now. We had some big movement here pre-market at 5:30. That was high impact news, retail sales, screen candle right here. And other than that, we're pretty much gonna wait for markets to open. So it's 6:23 right now. We have 7 minutes till market opens. So we got quite a bit of time. And once market opens, we'll go from there. Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. That's kind of what I have marked up right there as well. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens up shortly. I mean, it's a bit overextended. It's currently at the all-time high, so we'll see. But I do agree with yours right there too. I'm hoping the market isn't all choppy like yesterday. Well, not really choppy, but I'm hoping the market isn't like kind of all over the place. I'm hoping it's a little bit of a smoother ride today. Not like yesterday where we had a couple big candles, a couple small candles, and some spikes all throughout. Basically, there was a lot of manipulation yesterday earlier in the session. It's not looking like we're gonna get as much today because we're already moving in anticipation to the interest rate cuts tomorrow. But we'll just have to wait and see because you never really tell with the market, especially when you're expecting such big news like that. Hey, Steven, morning. Morning, Adam. Morning, guys. Morning, Brock. All right, we got 6 minutes till market open. I've marked up the zones over here. Marked up the zones over here. Looking over here at the sessions, I think we're pretty much at the very high right now. There's no highs around this point. Yeah. So there's not going to be any session entries today unless like price comes below, bounces off, it comes back lower, which is probably what's going to happen. Yeah, I agree too, Jason, 100%. I'm with you on that one. Hey, Gary, morning. Morning, Sam. Morning, guys. Good to see you guys here for this week. I got a little earlier today just to mark up the zones and the liquidity. Pretty much got everything marked up here. Let's see, we got market opening up in about 5 minutes. We got some time here. ATR is currently at 10. So volatility is not super high. I mean, it's pretty decent, but it's not super high at all. Here's the zone. So I marked up the basically the support resistance right now for pre-market. You guys can see prices respecting this 200 mark pretty smoothly. And same with this one down here at the 150. So we currently have a 50-point range right now. It's not super wide. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens. But looking at the calendar for today, I don't think we have much to look out for. We have some news at 7 o'clock. It's medium impact. So I will mark that up right here. And I guess we'll just see where market takes it shortly. All right, guys, got market opening up shortly. So I'll put this over here, guys, in the Zoom chat for you guys. This is gonna be the breakout. All right, so if you guys are in the Zoom, I put what the breakout's gonna be for the day. Show you guys the market in a little bit. We got the market opening up in about 3 minutes. We got some time here. Closest level of liquidity is above at 42,207. We have another level right here. So they're pretty much lined up right next to each other. So between 207 and 203, this is going to be the upper levels of liquidity right here. And then below we have the lower levels at 42,157 and 42,145. So we got liquidity on both sides right here. We're currently near the all-time high. So with us being at the all-time high, we have more liquidity sitting below here. A lot of liquidity sitting below here. And then we also have the contract rollover. So I'm back on the YM, regular YM continuous. The contract is finished rolling over, so we should be okay with using the regular one here. So we'll see what happens here shortly, guys. We got market opening up in about 2 minutes. We got market opening up in about a minute. So I'll be looking for some market flow V2s. Once we have some sort of direction, we have a sell signal right here. I'm gonna let price kind of push away, let price stabilize a little bit. Once it does, we'll be looking for possible entry here for some market flow V2s. So we got market opening up in about 30 seconds, guys. The news from this morning was negative. We got market opening up in about 20 seconds. So if you guys want to take the breakout, again, the breakout for today is going to be here for a sell. We got market opening up in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So let's see where this is at. Kind of slow today, but we'll watch it. So let's see, it's got to make some adjustments here. 249. And the adjustments down here, 49. All right, so I'll come back to this a little later. I'm gonna just follow through here. Gotta make some adjustments to my thing here, but it's like, there we go. All right, so I'll come back and take a look at this later, guys. Looking over here at our market flow entries, we currently have, I'm not going to take anything here yet. I'm gonna wait for the market here to stabilize a little bit. The lower levels of liquidity here got hit. So depending if you guys took any of these entries here, first level of liquidity right there got hit for a full TP. There goes the first one. Second one right there got hit as well. Third one right here got hit as well. So depending on whichever level of liquidity you guys decided to take, this one right here got hit for a full TP. This one right here got hit for a full TP. And this one over here got hit for a full TP as well. Just cleaning them up here so we have a cleaner chart. I'll be looking for some market flow V2s here, but just not right at this very moment because the candles here are moving a little bit erratic. So I'm going to wait for the volatility here to kind of slow down a little bit before I start taking some entries. I mean, technically, if you want to take some market flow V2s, you can take some right here. I'm just going to wait for the market here to kind of stabilize a little bit, though, because it's going to spike back and forth, obviously, here on open. There hasn't been a smooth push that's been happening lately. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth. So what I'm going to look for here is we currently have a sell signal. I'll look for price to come down a little bit further, retrace, come back down from there. The volatility is actually kind of low today, a little bit lower than I was expecting. I think market will be bullish long term. So I think tomorrow when the interest rates come out, the market will be bullish. But I think as of now, price will kind of just be around the middle. I feel that everybody is expecting markets to be bullish, so I don't think it's going to be very smooth with regard to direction. So we currently have a buy signal here, guys. What I'll be looking for here again is I'm looking for the market here to stabilize a little bit. Once it's stabilized, I'll be looking for price to push up, come back down, bounce off the pivot, and push up higher. But as of now, there's just no entries for us to take here right now. So you guys can see how these candles here are very erratic. We have one big candle, one small candle, one huge candle right here. And then these candles over here can either be small or big. So I'm not really looking to take anything here at the moment. Again, I'm just waiting for some sort of confirmation. So the only official entries that I'm taking here, guys, are the market flow V2s. As you guys know, we're testing out the breakouts, but those aren't counting towards anything specific. We're mainly looking for the market flow V2s. But in order for us to take those market flow V2s, I'll be looking for the market here to kind of stabilize a little bit before we can start taking those. As you guys can see here, these candles are not very consistent. There's a big candle. Let me mark up opening price real quick, actually, which is right here. So there goes opening price. But again, like I was just saying right now, there's no consistency with regard to these candle movements. We have like one big candle, one small candle, one huge candle, one small candle, and then again, another big candle right here. Price is really just ranging between the range right now. So the same range that I drew earlier this morning pre-market, price is still respecting the range. It's going between the 200 and the 150. It's faking on both directions. So fake out right here, fake out down here, and then it pulls right back into the range. So I'll be looking for some market flow entries here, but again, I just need some consistency here with regard to the direction, and with the candle sizes. Because the last thing I want to do is take an entry and then I just end up getting caught on the wrong side of the market, right? So just be patient and waiting for, this here to kind of smoothen out. Hey, what's up, Kenny? Yep, per usual. I mean, summer's been kind of all over the place. So like, you know how summer's been, Kenny, you traded us during summer. So summer's been kind of back and forth, but yeah, for the most part, since the fall season started, it's been pretty smooth. It's been pretty smooth for the most part, but we have the interest rate news coming out tomorrow. So this is what I was warning you guys about yesterday. You're going to get a lot of manipulation, a lot of back and forth from Monday until Wednesday. Once the interest rate news comes out on Wednesday, which is going to be positive news, of course, we're expecting, some push to the upside. But until then, we're kind of just treading the market right now, waiting for something here to come up. So currently right now, guys, we have price coming back down. In order for us to take some sells here, we need to get a sell signal. So I'm looking for a sell signal here to come up. There's one that's currently pending right here. So once this sell signal comes up, again, I'm going to wait for the market here to kind of stabilize a little bit, because you can see from this huge candle, this one over here is this was an 80-point move. This big green candle right here. And then there's a small candle right here, and then another big candle right here, that they're not flowing properly, right? The whole point of the market flow entries is to catch the market flow. Market's not really flowing right here. It's kind of just spiking back and forth. And it's going to be really difficult to catch market flow entries, of course, because what we're looking for here, in order for us to take market flow entries, we need to have a sell signal. We need price to come down and consistently come down, right? Something like this. That's the whole point of market flow. Vice versa, if we're looking for buys, we currently have a buy signal, so we need price to flow up in a smooth flow. We can't get this back and forth movement where price spikes down, spikes up, spikes back down, spikes back up, etc. We don't want that. We don't want that back and forth. We want the directional move. So with the sell signal right here that's currently pending, we're just kind of waiting for this here to close out. Once it closes out, we'll look for it to possibly retrace back up. The only problem here, once we get that sell signal, is that we're going to be right next to the sessions, right? So it's going to be a little tough for us to look for some opportunities here. Otherwise, if you guys have taken any of the liquidity pushes right here, there's two more levels that got hit. So this level of liquidity push, full TP right there, I'm going to take that off. Another level right here, hit that, full TP, take that off. This lower one right here also got hit, so I'll take that off right now as well, just to clean it up. Mark up new zones right there. So there's still liquidity there. It just gets pushed out further. Sell signal still hasn't closed. The breakout entry is still running. Come back and take a look at that later. It's kind of no use for us right now. I just gotta let that trade breathe. But yeah, there's just no direction here. So again, there's no entries here for buys for market flow, because in order for us to take that, I need price to actually climb up and be consistently pushing up. Not like this right here, where price is kind of just going back and forth between the range. So I'll keep bouncing back between this clean chart here so that you guys can see. It makes things a whole lot easier having this clean chart here, because you can see that price is really just kind of faking out in both directions. It's I mean, it's not really doing too much here. It's pretty much stuck between this range. Here's the SR chart. Same thing here. It's kind of just stuck between the range. I mean, if I was to clean this up, so if I was to take this middle one off, kind of clean it up a little bit right there. Man, there's just no direction today. Okay, so price stays up here. We might be able to look for some market flow entries for some buys, but it's not looking like it's going to hold. The trend is still technically bearish with regard to the pivots. And it's just a mess right now. So I'm gonna sit tight, wait for the market here and kind of stabilize a little bit. Again, once it stabilizes, I'll look for some entries. I'm really hoping to get some entries before 7, because that's my cutoff for the market flow V2s. If we don't get an entry before 7, then I'll probably look for some regular market flows. But again, for the market for the market flow V2s, I'll be looking for possible opportunities before 7. And there's just not enough consistency here. I was hoping to maybe catch one right here, like once we get the sell signal, but there's going to be opening price, there's going to be the sessions. I need price to actually be a little bit lower for me to take something there. Again, there's no direction. Price is going sideways. I don't recommend anyone enter any trades right now. I mean, if you want to take some trades, feel free. If you want to ride the price in either direction, you can, but you can see over here from the range that I drew, there's not really much, there's not many opportunities here to really take. All right, we got price finally dropping down a little heavier. Sell signal still currently pending. I wait for this here to close. It's rejecting directly off the sessions. Again, these are 2 red flags right here, guys. So even if we do get the sell signal, it's going to be tough to take any market flow V2s around this area. I'm still avoiding trades around the red flags, of course. All right, we have a sell signal there. It was invalid, but it's still going to work. If you guys wanted to take a market flow V2 right here, technically you could have, but again, like I said, it's too close to the session, so I'm not really looking to take anything here. But there goes a market flow V2 that just came up. So sell signal came up, price retraced up to the pivot. Entry would have happened right there, full TP. There's probably going to be more opportunities right here, but it's going to be a bit of a mess because of the, I mean, obviously because of the sessions and the opening price. All right, so we got price coming back down lower. This is a good sign. These candles are still pretty huge. So as you guys can see, there's just not very much consistency with regard to the movement of each candle. This is where it becomes a little tricky, because the stop loss could get triggered quickly if it spikes up and then comes back down. So if you look at the candles from open here, we had one big candle, one small candle, one big candle, one small candle, big candle, couple smaller candles here, 2 big candles, one really small candle, one big candle, and then obviously regular size candle right here. So just be careful if you guys are taking these entries. I mean, I would be careful around the red flags right here, opening price and the sessions. I'm going to hold off. I'm not ready to take anything here yet. In order for me to take something, I need price to actually come down a little lower. I'll take something down here. So around this area down here, I'll be looking for some possible entries. I don't really want to trade around this upper area right here. this is a red flag area full of manipulation. And you guys can kind of see, like, whenever price gets down to these lines right here, it kind of gets manipulated slightly. Again, right here, price pushes up, it gets down to the sessions, gets manipulated back up, gets the opening price right here, some manipulation right there as well. I mean, if you guys want to take these trades, like they're coming up, there's market flow V2s that are coming up, but they're right at the red flags I just mentioned. So again, right there, if you wanted to take a market flow, there's another one right here, full TP, depending on where you took it. If you took it at the end right here, full TP. If you took it in the middle, full TP, doesn't really matter. Either way, would have hit full TP if you took that there. But there's no direction, so I'm going to hold off on this. If I don't take any trades today, it's completely fine. I'm not going to force any trades here. That's one thing that you guys got to remember. If the trade doesn't come to you, don't force anything. Just wait. You don't have to trade every single day. So looking at this right here, guys, price is back into the range. So you guys can see whenever price breaks below, it just gets manipulated back into the range. Price pushed up, manipulated back down. Price pushes below here, push back into the range. Right here, push back into the range. So there's just not much here to work with, which is unfortunate. I was hoping we get some entries here before the interest rate news comes out tomorrow. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's a buy signal right here, but the trend is not bullish. So in order for me to take any buys here, I need price to really be above, but it's not there. All right, let's see. Max is asking, how does the flipping work exactly? Is it only when you enter and exit a trade right away, or does Apex account the money for example, the first 5 I was making around 12 I think they mean account flipping as in like one big trade, Max. So like for example, if you traded news and price spiked and you just did that once and you made a ton of profit, that's considered like account flipping. If it's like your strategy and you do it consistently, like for example, here, if you're taking the breakout every day, you're making like 1,500 one day, 1,500 loss another day, etc. That wouldn't be considered account flipping. To my understanding, account flipping is like if you're just kind of like you're making all your profit in one day, basically. Like you're trading news, or you're trading the open, or you're trading something that like causes a big spike in price. That's what they would consider like account flipping. Let's see. So Max is asking, I meant how you can flip 20% of your trading days and count them as trading days. Wait, let me see. Oh, like on some days where you're making X amount. I think they take everything into consideration. I don't think it's just the end of day profit. They look at all your so if you trade on any platform, I think you could even pull up your performance sheet. So on Trade of 8, you can pull up your performance sheet where it shows like your numbers. It'll tell you there like what your average profit and stuff like that is. So like it's not just like what happens at the end of the day or what happens for like per trade. It'll show you there because it'll show your consistency on the performance report. I don't know if you've looked at that before, Max. I used to post a screenshot of my performance accounts before. It tells you like where your numbers are at. So that's how they can see if you're flipping, like you're doing flipping trades or not. Because you'd have to have like some sort of consistency, or else you'll violate the consistency rule. I think the consistency rule is like 30%, or is it 20%? I'm not sure what it is, if it's 30 or 20%, but it factors in all your trades and all the days that you traded. So they just don't want you to be making like one big profit and then like yours isn't really a big deal. Like I think making 1,200 and then making 150, that's not a big deal. What they're looking for is if you're like making 20,000 one day and then you're making like $1 every other day to just count the days. I think that's what they mean by it. So like for example, if you traded news and then you made like 20,000 and then like you just need to have 7 trading days, right, to make your withdrawal. They don't want you to just be opening and closing a trade where you make like a couple dollars because then you're kind of just gaming the system. So that's what they mean by it. Because that's what we used to do before, like when we were on FTMO, you'd have to have like 10 trading days. So you would take one, you would just pass on one day, and then on the other days you would just take like a penny lot, and then you just make a penny per day just to count the days. That's what they mean by it. I know it's kind of ambiguous, but that's I'm pretty sure that's what I've never been hit with that problem before, so I don't know exactly, but to my understanding, that's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, exactly. Brock said, yeah, I think flipping is entering a small trade to get the day counted. Yeah, I agree 100%, Brock. That's been the same rule for like other prop firms, so I'm assuming it's the same thing. Rashida's asking if the breakout's still running. Yeah, it's still running. It's right there. It's back in profit now. I mean, this thing's been running for a while. So what I'm gonna do with the breakout is if it hits 8 o'clock, I'm gonna move the stop loss in profit. All right, guys. So there's a possible market. Oh, we're not gonna be able to take it though. So a possible market flow V2 that may be coming up right here. The only problem is gonna be right next to the opening price again. So I don't think I'll be able to take it here. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to take a market flow V2 here. It's gonna be too close to the red flags. There's just no direction. The direction here is so flat. Let's see, Max. I'm just wondering because he's passed the profit goal on 5 accounts, but he needs 3 more trading days. Plan on trading regularly tomorrow and flipping the last 2 days. Yeah, I would just take the trades as you normally take them, Max. Maybe lower your contract size a little bit, not a lot. So if you're normally taking like, like 7 contracts, don't drop to 1 contract. Maybe drop down to like 3 contracts or even 4 contracts so that you're not really risking as much, but just trade as you normally would. Just feel like you kind of stay under the radar for the most part. Oh, then you're good. Yeah, you're fine. You could even probably even go even lower. If you're taking 8, you can probably downsize to 5 if you just want to count the days. You just don't want to look suspicious, right? You don't want to go from like 10 contracts to 1 contract because that's where it becomes super obvious. Yeah, you should be good. All right, so we don't have any entries here yet, guys. Price is now finally below this area. Again, I would need price to drop even lower. Retrace back, come back down for those market flow V2s. Yeah, no problem, Max. I know the rules with Apex, they're always changing and they're not really clear. So I know it's if you guys have any questions regarding that, I'll try to explain it as detailed as possible as I can. But yeah, they're always changing the rules. Whenever someone finds a little loophole or something like that, they always try to change a little bit. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it's usually for the good of the company. Because there's always going to be someone out there that's looking to cheat the system. Right? There's people who've done arbitrage, there's people who trade news, there's stuff like that. They just don't want people who are cheating the system and are getting lucky. I think that's the biggest thing. They just don't want people who are getting lucky. All right, there's a possible market flow that may come up right here. The only problem here again, guys, it's going to be right in between the sessions. So between the sessions and the opening price. Let's see. I'm not going to take this one here. I'm going to wait for it. I just don't want to trade yet because either way, if I'm taking any of the entries right here, it's going to have to touch either of the red flags. So it comes up, touches this one. It's going to have to touch the opening price. So I'm going to hold off on this right here. It's currently running the market flow. It looks like it's going to hit TP or if it didn't already hit. Yeah, this is just not a good area. I'm not going to FOMO into any trades here. This is like what I'd consider a FOMO trade or like a bad trade because there's just too many red flags. Like this candle's touching both of the red flags. It's touching opening price and it's touching the sessions down here. I think it already hit TP, but either way, I'm not going to take this one, or I'm not in this position. Another one right here, market flow V2. It's probably going to hit. It's just, yeah, I just hit full TP right there. So if you guys are taking these trades here, I mean, feel free to take the trade. The trades are coming up. It's just, like I said, I don't want to take anything here that I'm going to regret. Because now that we're trading negative risk to reward, I don't want to take anything here that's going to be a little too risky. Like this is way too risky. There's two red flags. It's basically a red flag sandwich. We got the opening price right here. We got the sessions right here. You can technically take the trades. Like these trades are hitting, but because they're right here at the sessions, it's not really. I'd be okay if it was down here. If it was down here and we got the bounce, then okay, fine, perfect. Because we'll have two confluences for a bounce right there. But not this right here. This is too tricky. All right, so the breakout's still running right now, guys. Again, if it gets too late into the session, I'm just going to move my stop loss in profit for the breakout. Haven't moved it in profit yet, but we'll see. But again, if you guys are taking any of the entries, there's two entries that came up right here for market flow V2s. So breakout's currently running in profit, two market flow V2s that came up right here. I was hoping to get one before 7. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see if it happens here. Looks like price is trying to reach the liquidity down here. Next level of liquidity is at 42,103. So far we've had about 3 entries come up. We had 2 market flow V2s, full TPs right there. If you took those, we also had like about 6 or 7 market flow, sorry, not market flow, liquidity push entries from this morning. So we had a bunch of liquidity pushes up here, about 4 of them, and about 4 of them down here. They all hit full TP. So today there's been a lot of entries that came up, but a lot that would be considered a little bit risky. So depending on like which ones you guys decided to take, the liquidity pushes did hit full TP. So if you took any of those trades, they all played out pretty nice. Breakout's still currently running. And then I'm looking for some market flow V2s down here. All right, so we got price coming down further. So it's coming down further right there. Be looking for some, maybe one market flow V2. It's getting really, really close to 7 o'clock, so. Let's see. I'll just put my pending order here to catch it in case it does come back up.
Order submitted.
So I'll just put it here just in case. See where it's at. I'll bring it down a little lower. So 6:56 right now. It's getting closer and closer to 7 o'clock. I'll probably cancel it soon if it doesn't get close to that point. I just need to adjust it as price moves a little lower. All right, so the volatility here is starting to slow down a little bit. I'm gonna have to cancel this order soon, guys, because it's getting closer and closer to 7 o'clock. I don't want to be violating my rules here. So let's see. We got 3 minutes left. That blue line right there is going to signifying 7 o'clock. So I am probably going to cancel it pretty soon. Yeah, I'm just going to cancel. So I'm canceling the market flow V2. The breakout the breakout is still currently running right now. So you can see right there, it's currently running. I'll probably move my stop loss and profit. Thinking maybe down to this candle right here. 27. All right, moving my stop loss and profit to 41.27. So I've guaranteed profits already, 41.27 in profit. If it reaches full TP, great. If it doesn't, I've already guaranteed profit right here. So my stop loss is in profit at 41.27 right there. I just don't like the way the market's moving. So there was no market flow V2s, unfortunately. Now I'm just banking on this breakout to hit. Stop loss is in profit right there at 42.127. Going for the full move here. I'll probably move it down even lower to like maybe this point. To the 100 mark. I think that'd be safe. Bring it down to the 100 mark next. All right, so I adjusted my stop loss and profit to the 100 mark right here. Getting close, but I'm trying not to get too close. All right, we're at the 7 o'clock mark, guys. There's news right here at the 7 o'clock candle. I got stopped out in profit. So I made 741 on this trade right here, guys. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. I had my stop loss and profit right there. So I locked in about 50 points. Not bad. Half profit for the day on the breakout. So it's just this market. This market sucks. Honestly. The 100 points should have gone hit a long time ago, but it's just the market we're in. It's all good. So the breakout right there, I moved my stop loss and profit about to 100 points in profit. This will probably hit eventually. It's probably going to take some time, but eventually it'll probably hit. But I did move my stop loss and profit to the 100 mark over here, so I did get stopped out in profit. Locked in about half my profit right there, 741 in profit. I was supposed to make 1,500, but made about half of that. So I got out right there at the 50-point mark. So with that said, there's news right here, I believe. I think it was like medium impact news at 7. So we had news over here at 7 o'clock, medium impact. It was positive. It's probably what pushed price up there a little bit. There was a market flow that happened right there too. So there's a market flow V2 that happened right there. And I mean, I guess we'll see what happens next. There's another market flow that's coming right here again. But it's after 7 o'clock, so I'm not looking to take any more market flow entries. So the reason why I stopped taking market flow after 7 o'clock is because we start to get this sideways movement here. So you guys can see how the volatility is starting to die down. There's a bunch of market flows that just came up right here though. So earlier you guys saw from this, there was 2 market flow entries that came up right there. Another 2, about 3 entries that came up right here for market flow. So if you guys still want to keep taking these market flow entries, I mean, feel free to take them. I just don't trust the volatility after 7 o'clock right now because the volatility is not very consistent. So I'm not taking any more market flow V2s right now. I just took, so for me personally, I took 1 entry today just to break out. It wasn't a full TP, it was basically a partial full TP right here. I moved my stop loss and profit because the volatility was super low. We had news at 7 o'clock, so I moved right here to the halfway point. It unfortunately pulled up, hit my stop loss in profit, so I made half profit on that trade. Typically, I'd make 1,500 per account, but I made 750, so basically half of that. Looking over here at the market flow V2s, there was a couple entries that came up, but they're at red flags. So it was one right here. It was right in between the opening price and the sessions. And then there was another one right here. Same thing. The entry came up, but it was in between the opening price and the session. So I decided not to take these two. Then after 7 o'clock, we have a whole bunch that came up right here. So basically, you count the entries whenever a price came up and touched the pivot. So this one right here happened at 7 o'clock. That was my cutoff for entries. So I couldn't take that one. The one that happened right after at 7:01, another one. This one right here, 7:03, another one, and then another one right here at 7:04. So there's a bunch of entries that are coming up for these market flow V2s. It's just they don't fit within my criteria, so I'm not taking them. You guys got to remember, like, this is the only way you can really succeed at trading long term is if you follow your trading plan. My trading plan is to cut off my scalps at 7 o'clock. And because it's 7 o'clock here, I can no longer take these trades, even though they're coming up. So another market flow right there. If you guys want to keep trading, I'll tell you guys there's another market flow that's setting up right here. So if you want to take this entry, put your sell limit right there. And then once it fills it, you write it back down. But for me personally, I'm not going to take any more trades right here because it doesn't fit within my criteria. You know, that this is how you get good at trading. You have to find your criteria, have your trading plan, and stick to it. Because something like this can happen where price will just spike up at a random, right? And that's exactly what's happening right here. So not taking this trade. This one right here already hit my TP, so I'll go ahead and take a screenshot of this real quick. And then I'll screenshot my profits over here. So this is what I took for myself. If it hits full TP, I'll come back and take a look at it. And just a reminder, guys, later today, we're having our group mentoring session. So if you guys want to sit in on the group mentoring session later today, it's completely open to everybody. So whoever wants to sit in on it, feel free to come in. We'll review these trades, review whatever questions you guys have. But here's a trade that I took so far, 50 points. And I'll just screenshot my account over here as well. All right, so I normally make about 1,500 on this trade, like I said, but on this one I made 1,000. I made 741. So usually I make 1,500, but because I got out at the halfway mark right there, I made 741. So I got half profit. I usually don't move my stop loss and profit like that, but because of this market that we're currently in, I think it's best to keep it a bit tight. Yeah, Jason said better to take profit than nothing. And he's writing it back up. Nice work, Jason. Let's see. See, David said morning. I bought a 75K count. For some reason, I keep getting order rejected. I'm using two contracts. I think you might be on the wrong contract, David. What platform are you on? Because we're currently on the December contract. You might be on the September contract. So that might be the problem. That's the only thing I can think of because we just crossed over contracts yesterday. So if you're still on the old contract, that might be the issue. I think that's the issue people were having yesterday as well. All right, guys, if you want to take some buys here, we currently have a buy momentum signal. So again, you're looking for price to push up, come back down, bounce off the pivot, come right back up higher. So there's opportunity here for buys if anybody is looking to take those buys. All right, let's see what else we got here. So here's, I mean, price pretty much just pulled back into the range. So you guys saw the range that I drew here pre-market. This is the same range from earlier. I mean, you guys could have done what Jason did. He pretty much rode this push up back into the range. Yeah, exactly. Jason said sweet. He rode this from downtown to uptown. Yeah. Basically, price faked out down here. Pulled right back up into the range. Overall, I think price will be bullish. That's kind of where I'm expecting it to be. Um, Tomorrow, I think price will be bullish for sure once the interest rate news comes out. All right, so I'm trying to see if there's any opportunities here, but I just don't see anything here yet. There's still opportunity for regular market flow entries, but again, like I said earlier, the 7 o'clock, once it hits, it kind of flattens out a little bit. So if you want to take some regular market flow entries, well, it doesn't really matter. If you want to take regular market flow entries, if you want to take market flow V2 entries, you guys can take whatever you like. Right now, I'm going to wait and see how the market kind of plays out. I just don't like how it's currently moving right now. There's really no direction. If you look over here, so market opened over here at 6:30. Let me mark up 6:30 real quick. So this is where market opened up, the blue line. There really hasn't been too much direction here. Price going back and forth. It's been respecting this range though. So market opened up right there. I drew the range here pre-market. I actually drew this range before the market opened. So before all this happened, price was already ranging within this area. And then here you're starting to get the crazy spikes during New York session. Let's see, David said he's using YM. So that's the right contract. I'm not sure why you're getting a order rejected though. This isn't your first account, right, David? So you've had an account before with I'm assuming this is Apex. The only thing that I could see that could be an issue is if you didn't sign the agreements before, but I'm assuming you already did at this point. Trying to think what else could be the issue for you. Because two contracts should be fine. I don't see why two contracts should be an issue. Because if you're doing two contracts, so 2 times 5 times 30, your risk could be 300. Actually, I'm not even sure what the risk would be for, let me pull up Apex. I didn't know they had accounts that size. Let's see, yeah, you should be fine because the threshold is 2,750. So I don't see why it'd be an issue. Yeah, I'm not sure, David. It'll probably be easier if you just so go to the help window on Apex, your second account already signed the agreement. Yeah, just submit a ticket. There just might be an issue with your specific account because it should be okay to take two contracts. Your max trailing drawdown is 2,700. So if you were to take a two contract size, your risk would only be 300. So it wouldn't really be very much. Yeah, sounds like it might be a glitch in your account. All right, so we got price pushing up right here. It's pushing up to the next level of liquidity, which is this blue line. I'm not really looking to take any trades here, guys. As you guys can see, once 7 o'clock hits, the market here kind of dies down a little bit. So 7 o'clock hit right here, market was flat. You get this big spike in price right here, and then it just goes flat again. Right? So it's not really, I mean, personally, I just don't think it's really worth taking the risk, especially because there's no direction. So here's a clean chart. Price just going back and forth. Initially earlier, if there was a continuous direction to the downside, then okay, great. Maybe I could continue to take trades even though it's outside my trading window. But this right here just shows you that there's no direction at all. Price comes down, comes up, comes down, comes up, etc. Ideally, I'm expecting price to push up though. So that's where I'm expecting price to push up for the rest of the week because we do have the interest rate news coming out tomorrow. So price pushed up, broke right past the liquidity over here. If you guys took that level of liquidity, that right there went straight through. So it looks like it's about to push through, hit its full TP. So there goes liquidity right there. The ATR is actually really low. So even though the market here looks like it's moving very heavily, it's actually not. ATR is currently at 23 right now. And there we go with the manipulation right back into the range. So this is what I was warning about. This is why I don't really trade after 7 o'clock because stuff like this happens. This was happening a lot during the midsummer. But again, it's just happening here again. So there's another market flow V2 here, guys. If anybody decided to take that, that was a market flow V2. Again, I'm not taking the trades here because of how price is currently moving, but that was a pretty textbook market flow V2 right there. Price came down, filled the entry, shot right back up. Again, if you want to take another one, possible opportunity right here. I'm not going to take it, but just marking it for you guys there. We got double liquidity right there. Price trying to push right back up, break through this liquidity, maybe continue climbing. All right. So if you guys are just joining the room, for today, I only took one trade on my account. So I took the breakout over here. I took it, I moved my stop loss and profit right here to the 50-point mark once price came down. Price shot right back up, stopped me out in profit. So I made a total profit of 741. This is the only trade I took today. There was a bunch of market flow entries that came up, but they came up at areas where I didn't really feel comfortable taking them. So if you guys are just joining and you guys weren't here sitting for the earlier session, basically there was a market flow entry that happened right here. There was two of them. So two market flow entries that happened right here. They happened in between opening price and the session, so I didn't take them. They both hit full TP. And then down here, there's about 4 market flow entries that also hit full TP. So that would be about 6 entries back to back that hit full TP. And then I think this one over here either hit full TP before it shot up or it hit stop loss. Either way, if you took the TP or the stop loss and you took the other trades here, you'd still be a net profit because this is about 6 wins right here. You take one loss, that's -3. You'd still be in profit 3 wins for the day if you were taking, pretty much every market flow V2 that came up. So yeah, that's pretty much a review of like what happened today. Again, if you guys didn't hear earlier, I'm having the group mentoring session today at 2 p.m. So if you guys want to come later to the group mentoring session, I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. And we'll review like the entries for today. So yeah, if you guys want me to review any of the strategies later today during the group mentoring session, I can do that. If you guys want me to review any of your entries, I can do that. If you want me to analyze any asset, I can do that. So whatever you guys need help with, the group mentoring session is open to everybody. There's a GU trade right here that I marked up earlier. There's another GU trade that came up right here as well. This is from last week, actually. So I've been kind of just looking at I don't know. I keep looking at the forex trades here, but I don't necessarily think I want to trade forex again. It's just I don't like trading on these higher time frames. They take forever to hit. And with all the news happening and the elections happening this year, I think it's gonna be a little tricky. So if you guys want me to draw up the zones here for any forex pair that you guys are trading, I can do that as well. I can pretty much do whatever trading questions you guys have. So whatever questions you guys have, feel free to hop onto the group mentoring session at 2 p.m. today, and we'll answer whatever you guys need help with. I'm not really looking for any more entries here. If you guys are just joining, I pretty much, my cutoff for entries is around 7 o'clock. So once 7 o'clock hit over here, I basically just, I just cut off my trades for the day. That's my trading plan. So for the market flow V2s, my cutoff for that is 7 a.m. I could probably still look for some other entries here. So if I want to look for, say, like regular market flow entry, there's one here that's currently setting up. It's not ready yet, but possibly setting up right here. So what you look for here is you look for price to come down, bounce off the pivot, shoot right back up. So not yet, but basically right here. All right, so there's a possible market flow that's setting up right here. And depending on which one you want to take, if you want to take the version 2, you have your entry just kind of waiting right here at the pivot. If you're taking the original market flow, you'd look for price to come down, shoot right back up, fill your order, and get to its point. This liquidity is done with, so I'm going to take that off. This liquidity is technically done with as well. But I'll just leave that there for now. Yeah, so this, again, this is another example of why I don't trade after 7 o'clock. See how price here is just going sideways? I don't want to trade in a sideways market like that. So that's why I don't take any trades here past 7. You guys can take them if you want, but I'm not going to take them because I've already gotten burnt by trading after 7 o'clock and getting caught in this consolidation. So there's not really much going on here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Let's just review all the charts again. So here's our breakout charts still currently. It's still running. So it's still technically running. If you're still holding on to it, it's still technically running. I mean, hopefully all of you pulled out in profit with me earlier when I mentioned, because I was expecting this to happen. So initially for the breakout, I was expecting a drop, which the drop did happen. It just didn't drop 100 points. So you can see over here, market opened at 6:30, price came down pretty heavily. Didn't reach the 100 points, but once it got down to 7 o'clock, I was like, okay, this is time to possibly move my stop loss and profit. That's what I did, moved my stop loss and profit, and then I got out at 50 points. Because I'm expecting price to push up. Obviously, because of the interest rate news, I think everybody's expecting price to push up. So this was bound to happen. And I also think price is at the all-time high. So it's kind of sitting up here right now. Not really much else to look at. Here's the zones that I drew earlier. So price was respecting the zones pretty well until it broke below here. Faked out, came all the way back up. And we'll see here if it holds or if it comes back down. Our clean charts right here. Take this off. So let's see. I'll leave it as is for now. There's another zone up here. So there's another level up here and a level down here, but for the most part, it's cool as is right here. Yeah, there's just nothing here to really take. All right, so again, right here, if you guys wanted to take a market flow V2, looks like it already pushed through right there. So the entries are hitting, as you guys can see here. It's just the trickiness about this is the fact that price consolidates. And you don't know when price is going to pull back into the range, right? So, again, like I was showing you guys earlier, there's a lot of entries that are coming up here. They're just past my thresholds. My threshold is 7 o'clock. I stopped trading at 7. But there are entries here that are coming up. Buy signal right here, price pull down. There goes one win right there. Price pull down again right here. Second win right there. Third win, fourth win. It's 4 back-to-back wins right here for market flow V2s. So this is only for right now. The 7 o'clock threshold is only for right now because I'm still stuck in the summer market conditions. But once we enter, say, fall season completely, I think next week is the official first full week of fall. Once we have our full market swing and we're moving like directional all throughout the morning session, then I'll start looking for some more market flow entries. But as of now, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna force any trades here because the last thing I want to do is tilt and or trade on tilt and start to over trade and take some trades that are not really necessarily there. But here we go. As price continues to climb up. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop into the chat. Looking over here at the ATR, it's pretty low right now. It's currently at 18. It's not what we're used to. We're used to seeing it at like 30, 40, sometimes even like 80 on some days. But right now it's pretty low. 15 is usually the threshold. If it goes below 15, that's a little too low. Right now it's currently at 19. Let's see, CRX said I'll be starting to focus one of my PA accounts on following the breakout 100 point strats. How many contracts do you suggest, Sean, for 150K for a 50K? Let's see. So you have, let me see what your max drawdown is. You said 50K, right? 50K is 200, 2,500. So I would probably calculate it by 7 back to back. 25. Because this isn't, it's more of a break-even type strategy. It's not a strategy that's supposed to make you a ton of profit. It's the strategy that's supposed to make you consistent profit long term. So you probably want to risk about 357 max per trade. I don't even think you can trade with you might have to trade on a yeah, you'd have to trade on a on the micro. Because the mini right here, you're only like with one contract, the lowest contract you can take one is 500 risk. So you probably have to trade the micro. Here, let me see if I can pull up the micro here. So instead of YM, you trade with MYM. What was the number? 357. Okay, so you take 7 contracts. So trading the micro contracts, you would trade 7. You're gonna be risking about 350 per trade. I mean, if you want to take a bigger risk, feel free to take the bigger risk. But I think the breakout strategy is considered a slightly profitable strategy. So like the main goal with the breakout strategy is you want to have like at least 1 or 2 net wins per week, right? So for me, I'm making 1,500 per trade, right? So with it being break even, it's either going to be 0 for the week, or if I have 1 win, it's going to be 1,500, or if I have 2 wins, it's going to be 3,000, right? So I'm looking to make about 1,500 to 3,000 on that on each specific account per week. So you multiply that by 4 weeks, and then that's about like 12,000 per month, basically. So you can see over here, it's not like a huge profitable strategy, but it's a strategy that's supposed to bring you consistent profits month over month, basically. So that's how much risk I'm taking. I'm taking 3 contracts, but this is on a 150K account. So kind of depends on the account size. All right, guys. So we have a sell signal here that is just closed. Fuck, it's so boring. So we just got the sell signal here that closed. The candles here are moving pretty slow. Not really much going on here. Let me check NQ real quick. NQ is not really having much movement either. NQ looks like it's been going more sideways than YM actually. So NQ is actually not really moving very much at all either. Yeah, it looks like YM's moving more than NQ. All right, there's a new level of liquidity above. Still nothing to take here. So in order for you to take another market flow entry, you need a new buy signal come up. Once that buy signal comes up, then possible entry there. This market's putting me to sleep. All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, if nothing happens here in the next 10 minutes or so, guys, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. There's just no reason to be staying on the charts and then getting FOMO. I think this is like the worst case scenario for you guys to be looking for entries, because what happens here is you guys just wait for the market here to do something and it doesn't do anything for like the next 20 or 30 minutes, and then you start to force trades. And I'm sure this has happened to a lot of you guys, where you just see price going back and forth, and then you start to get ideas of how you can make money in this back and forth market, right? While there are ways to make money in this market, there's a lot of ways to lose money. So it just takes one unlucky move to really screw up your account for the week. And that's why for me here, my cutoff was basically 7 o'clock, because I know this happens after 7 o'clock. Typically 7 o'clock hits, and then you start to get this sideways move. Sometimes you get a big spike, sometimes you don't. Big spike happened right here, and then now it's back to going sideways again. This is usually what traps people, is because they see the big move here and they think just because there's a big move, it's going to keep pushing up higher, right? And I'm sure you guys have thought about that sometimes. You see a big spike and you're like, oh, this has to keep pushing, right? As soon as you get into a buy here, what happens? Reversal. And then you end up taking a loss that you could have just easily avoided if you weren't trading at that time. So, the best way to learn from this is to journal your trades. Like, I've journaled my trades for the past couple of years now, and I start to realize, okay, this is where I start. Like, I typically lose trades after 7 o'clock, so maybe this is a sign to not trade after 7. At least not during the summer conditions. During the fall and spring conditions, it's a little different because the market's volatile all throughout the session. But during these current market conditions, it typically repeats itself and does the same thing over and over again. So the sideways move here is not something new. It's expected, and it's typically what happens at this time of the market. All right, let's see if there's anything new here. Let's check out CNBC real quick. Any updates? Not really. You can see everyone over here kind of bored too. Just a little bit of a boring market, of course. Check Bloomberg. All right. So retail sales are super bullish. Obviously, you can see here. Push price up. Yeah, there's no breaking news. I was just checking to see if there's anything here that we could probably expect for price to push, but There's nothing else for today. All the news is passed. We had news over here pre-market at 5:30. We had some 6:15 news, low impact, 7 o'clock news, medium impact. And that's pretty much it. Seems like everyone's kind of just going to wait for the everyone's pretty much waiting for the inflation, or not the inflation, for the interest rate news to come out tomorrow for the FOMC minutes. All right. So we have price coming back down right here. Let's see. So we got price coming back down further. There's no entries here right now, but we do have price coming down a little further. Trying to see any patterns here that I can utilize for us. So I'm kind of curious to see. Here, let me show you guys because I'm seeing this pattern here. I'm not sure if it's something that's like, and we could probably cover this more in the mentoring session. So just another reminder, guys, if you guys want to come on to the mentoring session later, I think the best part about the mentoring session isn't necessarily reviewing things. It's mainly the brainstorming part of the session. So I just noticed something here that I think might be useful. So for the pivots here, I'm just going to use pivots 1 and 2. And this is kind of what we do during the mentoring session. Kind of want to keep things as basic as possible. So what I'm noticing here is I just basically turn on pivots 1 and 2, and I'm looking at like when we have a buy signal. So for example, buy signal, and then looking at the market flow V2, buy signal price comes down, bounce off the pivots right here. And it'd be like a nice little entry. So again, right here, another bounce. Obviously another entry there. So I'm looking for ways to simplify the strategy. Like for the market flow V2, it looks like you can just use pivots 1 and 2. Again, right here, price comes down, bounces, another full TP, another full TP, another full TP right there. And then maybe this one right here is where it just stopped, right? Where we've done taking entries. And then again, this price comes below here, and you just do the same thing on the lower end. It's basically like high frequency trading. Like price comes down here, comes below again right here, comes back up. Another market flow entry right there, price comes below. Another market flow entry right there, price comes below, comes back up. Another market flow entry right there if price comes back and touches it, right? Yeah, because it looks like if I was just following this as is, there would be a lot of entries here that would have came up. So like again, sell signal, buy signal right here, entry right there, sell signal, entry right there. And we'll look into this stuff during the mentoring session. This is just something that I just kind of noticed. I was like, hey, there's like, you can take market flow V2s a lot quicker. Sell signal below. This is pre-market though, so probably not going to be very useful. Let's go back to our main chart. All right, so there's nothing here, guys. But if you guys like what I just did right here, you guys can see that I just came up with like a random idea. I just saw that these patterns split. They were going to buy signal, bounce, bounce, bounce. Sell signal, bounce, bounce, bounce. Just a bunch of entries here. I'll look at this more in detail during the mentoring session later today. So if you guys want to see this, this is kind of like where I think this is the cool part about the mentoring session is that you kind of just see my ideas flow through without actually like I'll put strategies together off the top of my head. If I see some patterns in the market, yeah, because it's pretty interesting. So this is from yesterday, Monday. Market opened at 6:30. We had a buy signal here, price push through. This would be a bounce right there, right? Full TP. Obviously, sell signal right here, price came below. So now that price came below right here, you can take the sells, and there's actually a bunch of entries that came up right here. So there's one right there, another one right there, another one right there, another one right there. So that's like 4 back-to-back entries for a sell. Maybe another one right there, 5. Swing back to buys, buy signal right here. Yeah, and this is how I make improvements to my strategies. I kind of just let my mind flow, and I see little patterns here that work out and stuff that we can kind of like, I don't know, play around with. Another market flow right there. I don't know, this could probably just be another variation to the market flows. All right, so back to our main chart, guys. There's nothing going on over here right now. All right, we have a pending buy signal right here right now. We'll see if there's anything that will come up. Let's see, Madhu's asking, did you guys ever look at the Heiken Ashi side by side with the YM chart? I remember someone brought it up on the mentoring session, but I can't remember what they were looking for exactly. So yeah, let me, and I'll pull it up here. It's better to look at during live conditions anyways. So what they were looking at, and I noticed something else different too that I want to kind of introduce to you guys as well. So here, I'll put the Heiken Ashi next to it. What they were looking for is they're basically looking for a momentum signal in the direction of Heiken Ashi. So for example, right here, price is bullish, trend is bullish, the Heiken Ashi is bullish. So if the buy signal here closes, this is one that they would take for a buy. So they basically would be waiting for the buy signal here to come up. I'd probably do a 1-to-1 with the ATR. So basically 2020. So there goes an inch right there for the Heiken Ashi. I think the stop loss might be a little too tight though. There's just not very much direction, but we'll see if it plays through. But this is what someone else mentioned during the last mentoring session. They were talking about how they take the pivot scalp entries in the direction of the trend, but they use the Heiken Ashi as a confluence. So we have the confluence right here for Heiken Ashi. It's bullish. It looks like it's actually going to play through. It's right there. It's pushing up to its full TP. Almost there. Not quite. The volatility is kind of low here, but I mean, it'll probably push up eventually. It hits TP, but the volatility here is a little low. From what it looks like the high kind of sheet could be good for like the bounces off the pivots as well. My dude's asking what TP do you have for that trade? It's at 20 point. So I just did a 1-to-1 for the ATR. ATR was at 20 when this entry came up. So I just based it off what the ATR was down here. I mean, there's a lot of different things. You could have done a 1030. If you did a 1030, would have hit TP already. So if you did a 1030, you would have hit TP already. If you did a 1515, that also would have hit TP already. But I was doing a 1-to-1 with the ATR. I think this might be a little too fast paced. I don't think the ATR would be much of a use unless like you're quickly changing your ATR super or changing your TP stop loss very quickly. But the thing with this is you have to factor in your stop loss or your contract size as well. So I would personally use like a fixed TP stop loss. I think a 15-15 would work perfect right there. Yeah, Daniel said, I think it just gives a second confluence on Heiken and Shi when you have a strong candle color going in the direction of your trade. Yeah, I agree. So like what I remember from the person who mentioned the Heiken and Shi last time was that they just use it as a confluence. It's not part of the strategy. It's really just if they're taking a buy, they look to see, oh, was it you, Daniel? Yeah. Someone else mentioned this before as well. It's just using it as a as a confluence. Because I've done the same thing in the past too before, where I use this as a confluence. Let me show you guys one other thing that I think that I found was super interesting last night. So I'm just going to close this off real quick, or I could leave this on if you guys want to see it play through. But another thing that I noticed yesterday, like for whatever reason, like late night, I always get like the best ideas. So I was on my screen like really late last night, and I noticed that a lot of times if you have like, so for example, there's a sell signal right here, right? If you have a lower high, or say for example, you have a high, low, and then a lower high, right? So you're basically getting a directional pattern. When you have this right before the sell signal, it typically plays out pretty nice. And for example, right here, you can see how this candle, and I'll go over this in detail during the mentoring session. I just have a lot of ideas that I'd like to share with you guys, and get your input on it as well. You know, this helps both of us because I can put strategies together, and you guys can also have some input whether you like them or not. So again, right here, this is just one thing that I kind of noticed yesterday. Um, I probably used a fixed TP stop loss, like a whole number, like 30, 30, 35, 35. I wouldn't use like a random number. But like I said earlier, there's a low here, or there's a high, there's a low, and then there's a lower high right here. So basically the pattern here is you're seeing this happen before the sell signal, right? And the sell signal lines up with the pivot scalp because it's below the pivots, trend is red, everything kind of lines up here properly. Having this confluence right here, I would enter this trade if there was no sessions right there. And then this would be 30 points because the ATR is 32. I'd just round it to the closest whole number, 32. Or I'd round it to 30 or 35. And this over here would obviously play through perfect. So I got about a lot of ideas that I'd like to share with you guys later today during the mentoring session. If you guys have any input or if you guys have anything that you guys have seen as well, I think it'd be beneficial for, all of us as a group to kind of look at that. But that's one thing that I noticed yesterday. Um, Looks like this one over here would have played through already. So again, right here, buy signal, price came back down, it bounced off the pivot right there. That's where your entry would be for I guess a market flow of V3. And there's a bunch of entries here that came up actually. So buy signal right there for full TP, came back down, bounced off it. Another one right there, another one right there, another one right there. That's basically 4 back-to-back wins. This one over here is now for a sell, price came down. Could be in the opposite direction now, but a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Jason said, "Hey Sean, the chart I sent really works if there's no big money manipulation, and the correct name is AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution." Yeah, no, and I agree with you 200%, Jason. I think it works very well. I'm glad that you shared that with me. I'll add to my notes, and I'll probably look into it a little deeper. I've heard of it before. I just never really actually looked at it. So, with using that, I typically my main focus is with London session. I don't know if you do the same thing, Jason, because typically typically Asia session is going to be slow anyways. It just is typically always like, slow for that for whatever reason. So since it's always slow like that, I usually I put more emphasis on London because the Asia session is usually going to be a range anyways. So I'll look for like, range manipulation, then reversal, or like expansion, consolidation, continuation, stuff like that. And I've started to add my own twist to it too, Jason. Like for example, if it's expansion, so if I see expansion and then continuation, I'll look for the reversal. Or if I see expansion reversal, then I'll look for reversal in the same direction of Asia, right? Yeah, exactly. The pattern is key. Yeah, 100%. Because Asia is usually going to be ranging anyways. So I usually base it off the London session. Looking at this here, guys, at this entry, I'm like thinking if this would actually be better with a 15-15 1-to-1. Yeah, because you'd have like two wins, and then if you have a loss right here, then whatever, you still have one win. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it. So we'll cover this stuff more in detail during the mentoring session, guys. I don't want to take up this live session with like my ideas and stuff like that. I think it's better just cover during the mentoring session so we have it all recorded and in one place. Looking back at the charts here, there's not really too much going on, as you guys can see. There's still market flow entries that are coming up, but there's not really too much here going on for the most part. It is it's really just going sideways. Yeah, let's see. Jason said, yeah, if Asia is going down, London to continue, then most likely New York will turn back up. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, Jason said, yeah, that's why I say to share it with the top traders. Let's see how best can we work and make some money, serious money consistently from it. Yeah, no, definitely, Jason. That's why I'm gonna bring it up during the mentoring session later today too, so we can kind of discuss it. But it's something that we can work off. And that's usually how a lot of these strategies work, guys. So a lot of the strategies that people use and like that I put together, they're typically stuff I learned from either market patterns that I see in the market or stuff that I kind of based off other things that I learned in the past. Like like the momentum scalp, right? The momentum scalp strategy, this isn't something new. And here goes that pattern again that I just showed you guys. So we had a low here, high here, low here, high here. So again, right here is another pattern of a continuous push to the upside. And then there's a buy signal right here. So this would be an entry for a buy. The ATR is currently at like 20 right now. It's a little tight, but it's at 20. And this would be a pivot scalp entry using the high lows as a confluence. But because the volatility here is so low, this is why I typically wouldn't like to take trades around this area. Because it's just going to be, I mean, for the most part, it's just going to be a little slow. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to be it for the day. It's 7:50 right now, so there's not really much going on. You guys can see over here from the clean chart, there's really nothing going on here. The price is just going back and forth. I'll draw another structure right here. Not super necessary, but I'll draw right there. And you can see there's not really much going on here. If I clean this up, you can see price is just ranging between these two levels right here. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Again, if you guys are just joining or if you guys weren't here for the whole session, there's only one trade that I took today, which was the breakout. So I took the breakout right here. I moved my stop loss and profit to 50 points once price started to kind of die down a little bit at the bottom. Usually this breakout's supposed to go straight to TP right away. It's not supposed to last very long. So once we got to like closer to 7 o'clock, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move my stop loss in profit. Price swung up, hit my TP right there. I got out at 741 profit. Other than that, I didn't take anything else, but there was a bunch of other entries that came up. So if you guys were following the market flow V2s, the only problem here is that there was a bunch of red flags in this area. There was two entries that happened right here, back-to-back wins. And then down here, there's four of them that came up. So six back-to-back wins right here for market flow V2s. 7 o'clock hit at this time, and unfortunately, that's my cutoff for trading. So that's why I stopped trading around that time. But if you continue to take the market flow V2s, there's more entries that came up over here as well. So there was a buy signal that which pushed up, came down, retraced to this area, full TP right there. Price pushed up higher, another full TP right there. Price pushed up higher, another full TP right there, and then a last one right here. And then from here, price just ended up going sideways. So there was just nothing for us to take here at the moment. So it's all good. It's all part of the trading game. Nothing's always going to be super smooth. And then a lot of situations, you're just going to have things that are in the way of your entry, and you can make a decision to take it or not. For me, I decide not to because I don't want to over leverage or over risk my trades for the day. So today was pretty decent. We had a lot of wins that came up. I only took one of the trades, but I think a lot of you guys here did take a bunch of others. So if you guys have some profit to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up for the day. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here in about 6 hours. So right now it's 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6 hours. I'll be back for the group mentoring session. If you guys want to sit in on that, it's free to everyone. So it's open to anyone who wants to join in. YouTube stream will be posted on the Discord. If you guys are in the premium, the Zoom will be posted in the Discord. And I'll be back here at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is in about 6 hours. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go get some stuff done, and then I'll come back here for the group mentoring session at 2 o'clock. So if I don't see you guys then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you guys have any questions,